everybody, it is Bethany from Bethany on Books, and I am so excited to start bringing you reviews again. I have missed talking about the books I've been reading, and I'm really happy to talk about some more books. The only problem is I was hoping to rave about something, but that's not what's going to happen. I'm here to complain again, complain about another book that I've read, and I have notes. I have notes about it, so let's get right into it. All right, today we're going to be talking about Missing You by Harlan Coben. This was written in 2014, and it's a thriller novel. So, Kat, our main character, the guy who murdered her father, who as a cop recently died, and there are some things that were discovered through that process that's making her wonder more about her father's death. Never settled with her the way that it was wrapped up, how it just didn't make any sense to her. So we're with her as we're discovering what really happened, and along with this, she tries to reconnect with her old fiance. They've been broken up for 18 years. Her best friend signed her up for a dating site, so she's like on this site, and who does she happen to see? She sees her ex-fiance with a picture with a kid. Where did this kid come from? How come she didn't know he was married before? If he was recently a widower? All sorts of questions. But I'm not going to answer those questions because this is going to be spoiler free, but it's time for me to complain, and I have 3 main points that I'm going to be complaining about. They are all relationship based, and then one thing that I thought actually kind of worked a little bit. So let's start. Our main character is Kat Donovan, and she has been a police officer for like a super long time. She was originally going to go to law, but then her dad died, and she became a police officer because of it. And she's like this really stereotypical officer who has a drinking problem, but it's fine because she can stop whenever she wants. Okay, here's the thing that's the problem with Kat. I didn't care about her. We started the book, first chapter, second chapter, third chapter. I'm like, when am I going to care about this character? I'm not going to care about anything that happens to her if I don't care about her. So the first relationship that's bad is the reader's relationship with our main character. Nobody cares about Kat, and I don't believe her. There's few things that happen in this book that just made it super unbelievable, especially with Kat. So she is out drinking with her friend, and then she goes back to her apartment, is on this dating site until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and guess what? She wakes up at 6 o'clock to do yoga. No 38-year-old woman is waking up at 6 o'clock, or maybe she's 40, to do yoga after she's casually been drinking all night. That's not a thing. People don't do that. You don't sleep 4 hours after you've been drinking and you're like ready to go. That's not how that works. I already didn't believe this character from the get-go when that scene was one of the very first scenes that happened in the book. I don't believe you. Also, the author is trying to really paint this huge misogyny that happens in the workforce, but it is so overblown. Oh my gosh. It's like her partner is literally saying things, hey, how's your friend's tits? No. If you wanted to showcase misogyny, what you have to do as the author is put subtle things that make me feel uncomfortable, but I don't know why I feel uncomfortable. That's how you do a good job. But when you do this in your face super misogyny, it's just boring. It's boring. Be subtle about it. Be a better writer. Make me think about it. Don't just spell it out for me. He's a frat boy and he says frat boy things. Oh my gosh, so over it. So first, failed relationship. Kat with the reader. Failed. Absolutely failed. Second failed relationship, another reason why I didn't like this book, was Kat and Jeff. Jeff is her long-lost love. They were in love. They were the perfect couple. Everybody said they were the perfect couple. And then mysteriously, Jeff just couldn't take it anymore after her father died. And Kat thought that he broke up with her because of how obsessed she was over her father's death and trying to get restitution for it. And he just couldn't handle it. So he left. Oh, and she's never gotten over him. Not fully. She's had other partners. She's had other boyfriends, but nobody was as great as Jeff. It's been 18 years. Jeff, we believe in the story, has moved on, gotten married, had a child, and she still is obsessed with Jeff. Oh my gosh. I just didn't care. I just didn't care that she didn't even try to get over him, that she didn't try to date anybody seriously. It was so trite how she still had feelings for him, how he was the one. He's always been the one. Okay, lastly, the last relationship that I just did not understand from the book's perspective is Kat's dad. So he's the main thing that's moving the story forward. His murder is one of the main plot points from it. Well, Kat is trying to discover what really happened, what really didn't happen, and she is exploring this. The problem with it that I found is I didn't care two poops about him. We don't really understand him as a person. We hear snippets, but not enough to develop a character, to have Kat's dad be an actual person. You don't have any type of her reminiscing about what type of father he was. All you hear is Heather Offer saying, oh yeah, he was great on the force. Okay, but that doesn't like mean anything. Like, she has siblings and she never has a family memory that she reminisces about him. You're wanting to feel the pain that Kat felt over losing her father when she was in her early 20s, and it's just not there. You don't feel like she had a real relationship with him. You don't feel like there was any lost love, even though, it tore her up so much that it broke her relationship up, but you just don't feel that in the book. It's just like her dad felt like a character. It didn't feel like her dad. It felt like in the book that this was some ethereal person that was out there, but he didn't really mean anything as I was reading it. And she even has this conversation with her mother, trying to figure out some things. And the way that they talked about him just didn't make any sense. It wasn't like there was no warmth there. There was no respect there. He was just a person, and you're wanting to really feel with Kat that the fact that her father was murdered and she didn't feel like there was true justice over that, and she never got resolution. At least she never felt like she got resolution, and yet you just didn't care because her father was a 2D person in a 3D world. It just did not make any sense, and I didn't care. So those were the three of the main relationships in the book that are drawing you towards it, or at least are supposed to be drawing you towards it. You're supposed to care about what's happening to Kat. You're supposed to care over the fact that she's trying to reconnect with this ex-fiance, but then he gets all weird about it. Why is that? You're supposed to care about what happened to her dad, but I just didn't. I just did not care. However, there was one relationship in the book that I thought was good, but you never actually saw them connect. It was a subplot. It was a mother and her son. And it wasn't even their relationship together. It was how they thought of the other person throughout the book. I thought it was very warm and it was very wholesome. I was rooting for those characters, but they weren't the main characters. They were just plot devices in the book. But I liked them so much more than I liked literally anybody else in this book. How this became a TV series, I do not know. When the big reveals happened, I just didn't care. I had zero emotional investment in it. Sure, I wanted to find out what happened, but that's about it. I wanted to find out what happened so I could come here and complain to all of you guys about what happened. So now you know. Missing You by Harlan Coben, huge pass for me. For everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see all my rants as they come out. Until then, I am Bethany from Bethany on Books. Bye.